Make sure to go and check out all of our latest merch at paddockmerch.com. We've got loads of new designs and even more products coming all the time. With 2 or more items, you get 20% off using the code Paddock20. And if you remember, there's even bigger discounts available. Link is in the description.
JF Stretford Paddock, this is the Paddock Podcast, and it's live, and we've got Stephen Howson with
Andy
us.
Grazy.
And Joe
What's his
Smith
name?
with us.
Mine, Tyler.
Have you finished?
No.
Right. Get involved in the comments, get involved in the chat, which is the comments really, innit? And give us a like as well. You all right?
Yeah, or they could write us a letter.
Yeah, the art of letter writing
We
has
don't
somewhat
get
gone out
enough
the
letters.
window. When we do get them, they're tied to bricks and thrown through the fucking window.
It's not good, is it?
No.
All from the HMRC. Those basically just
Pay your
rats in
taxes.
cloaks.
All right.
Paying taxes.
Is it good enough for Gary Barlow? It's good
All
enough
right,
for us.
Sheriff of Nottingham, relax.
Yeah, exactly.
Chill out.
We'll pay them, okay?
Yeah.
At some point. What was it about?
That is the good thing about the tax.
Oh, what?
If you do say, I'll pay it, they kind of go away for a bit. You do have to pay it, though.
There's your first tip of the podcast.
Yeah, that didn't work out too well for some people, though, did it, Stephen?
No. Don't know what he's referring to there.
Right, okay, let's not discuss financial matters in front of the children.
Wesley Snipes got in shit for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Is that
So
what you're on
did
about?
Jose
'Cause I actually have
Mourinho.
no
I was on about Jimmy Carr.
Oh, well, no, he just was on a tax avoidance scheme.
Oh, was it?
I think so.
Right, okay, fair
He
enough.
says, I'm not fucking paying that.
Why would you want to? Go on, what were you going to say before you really interrupted?
Doesn't go on potholes either, does it?
No, it doesn't. That's true. State of the roads. Disgraceful.
Spend it on like duck moats and all that, don't they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they did, didn't they? Expenses. Or 4p claims. You remember that guy was
Funny
putting in
though,
4p?
That's like the equivalent. Do you know that
UK
where
than
they do
the
like sifting, where it's like every transaction they take like a fraction of a penny off,
Yeah.
and no one notices it, but over years you got like hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
That whole like thing.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent of that, isn't it? Just 4p on your expenses.
Yeah.
Keep that 4p. Do that every month. In 10 months, that's 40. That's enough for a couple of chomps.
You know what's wild? Someone just said that our tax is higher in the UK than the US. In the UK, you have VAT added onto stuff, so you end up paying that, and it's sort of into the price for most stuff. Unless it's business to business, people usually quote stuff without that and then throw it in on top. But you don't really see that because you get to claim it back and all sorts of stuff if you're a business. The mad one for me is when you go to America, you go, oh, this is a tenner. You take it to the till and you go, $18, and you go,
Yeah.
and you go, oh, you got a state tax, you got a shipping tax, you got a sales tax. You're like, right, okay.
But they don't put it on the price. Like it's
Really?
going to change. Yeah, it's right stupid.
Oh, not into
so it'll be
that.
like $9.99, and then you get to the till and it's $11 or whatever.
Yeah. And then you have to do your own taxes every year. In the UK, you don't have to do that if you're a company director or work for yourself sort of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas in America, everyone's got to do their own taxes. And
Really?
you go to jail if you fuck it up.
That's what happens to Wesley Snipes.
A bit more on top than that. But
Right.
Yeah.
So
Because
harsh.
he started pulling out like lines out of the Constitution saying like, I don't need to pay taxes. And
The line in the
Common
Constitution
law.
says that common law, if you're in passenger 57, you don't have to pay taxes.
Yeah,
That-
if you're in the Blade trilogy, what
he started doing all that shit, which is just bananas.
are we talking about today, Jay?
We're going to talk about international football because that's everyone's favourite topic, innit?
All right, I'm out.
Yeah. So before you leave, because I understand your, reticence. It is awful.
Good word.
Thank you. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Jadon Sancho, which kind of ties into that as well. Paul Pogba, a bit of that. What else?
In Varane getting
Varane.
injured.
Varane injuries. Yeah, sorry, I almost forgot.
Let's just fuck international football.
Well, you say that, but everyone's getting a bit like excited about it again, aren't they? Because the Nations League games.
No,
we've had.
who is?
People.
Name them.
I don't know
Pogba?
by name.
He seems excited.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're a part of the France squad or periphery who won something kind of this weekend,
Yes.
I mean, isn't it just international version of the Intertoto fucking Cup?
Yes.
Right.
But it's better than the international version of just friendlies.
I actually agree. I think the Nations League is better because it's ranked. So
Yeah.
you generally play the team one up and one down, don't you? So
Yeah.
you're playing good competitive football. And I know the likes of San Marino, Malta, Liechtenstein, the people that usually live at the very foot of all of this shit, are actually playing or competing in games now where they're scoring goals, which, funnily enough, is actually monumental for someone like San Marino, who went like years, possibly even over a decade, unless I'm just making that up, without scoring a goal.
Yeah, no, they don't get many goals, do they? No. So what happened yesterday with Varane then?
Well, he went down, didn't he, with what looks like a groin injury. in the first half of France's win over Spain in the Nations League final.
Not that big context.
Yep, he had a bit of an ice pack on his groin. One of those where he just went down without anyone around him, so you always worry, don't you, when that happens, because it's like, we don't know the nature of it in terms of the seriousness or anything like that. I presume he's got to have a scan and all that jazz. We're not going to hear from Ollie until Friday, so I presume Ollie will give us an update on his presser for the Leicester game. But it's highly unlikely that someone's going to go down, have an ice pack on the groin, and then 5 days...
Get subbed off as
well. And then 5 days later, be playing against Leicester City. It ain't going to happen, is it? And it's highly unlikely as well that Harry Maguire is going to be fit for that game.
Well, when's Maguire meant to be back? Another week or two?
Yeah.
Because that was only meant to be 3-4 weeks, wasn't it? And that has been 3 weeks now.
So, I mean, in theory, you could maybe have Maguire, but it's a bit of a stretch. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Victor Lindelof and Eric Bailly playing against Brendan Rodgers' army.
And they've been shit this season, but,
Yep.
you know, that's still not the best centre-back partnership, is it?
No.
And also, the other thing is, with Varane, apparently I saw a thing that said, depending on what sort of grade the tear or the whatever the pull is, it could either be 1 to 2 weeks or 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So it could be out for the Liverpool game as well.
I mean, that's, for me, the worry. Like you say, Leicester haven't been good this season.
No.
Obviously, I'm concerned, but I'm not overly concerned or as concerned as much as I am about the Scousers, because Lindelof and Bailly against the likes of Salah and Mane and Jota is a little bit concerning, to say the least. Also, as well, now people may not care about this, but it is a player that plays regularly under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Fred's likely to be missing for Leicester game as well.
I think Cavani is as well.
Cavani. So
They're
you might look
each other.
Yeah. So you might look at it and go, well, Cavani and Fred, I'm not that, especially with the Fred story, but it's 3 players that probably would have started.
Yeah.
Who aren't available to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at a time where he's under the pressure as well.
Fred's
so
this massive scapegoat at the minute, and people can't have any sort of reasoned conversation about him. You're just supposed to say shit and move on.
Yeah.
But obviously there's more to it than that. There was a bit of data that came out this weekend where Fred's just killing it in terms of like distance run and pressures. And it's not everything, but it's certainly something.
Yeah.
And actually Paul Pogba was a lot higher. I think he was second on that list. Miles off Fred, but still above everybody else at United, which was really interesting because I didn't expect that. You watch Paul Pogba play and you don't really... expect that to be a metric that comes out on the back end of it. Against the likes of City and Liverpool, Fred typically comes off as one of the players of the match, invariably.
City, especially.
Yeah, against City the Etihad the other year, he covered
It was
everything.
ridiculous
He
good
just covered
performance.
everything. And people, I'm willing to concede that in a game at home against someone that you're probably going to see in a low block, I'd rather find more progressive players, more creative players, and look to try and break the deadlock and score a goal. Maybe bring him on for the last 10 or 15. When we're 2 or 3-0 up, that'll do me very nicely. But against the likes of City away, Liverpool away, these are the sort of games where, I said it a few years ago, everyone laughed, but you realise how fucking right I am when you see it. It was like Jesse Lingard was one of the first names on the team sheet, certainly for Mourinho, in this particular sort of game, because that's the sort of shit that he does. He thrives in that sort of thing. Football... You're only in possession for 3 minutes each, at best. You've got 87 minutes of running around being off the ball. So when people go, he just fucking runs around off the ball.
Per player, you mean? They're not
Per
team.
player, yeah. It is a massive, massive, massive percentage of what you're doing on a football pitch is your position and off the ball movement. It's everything, actually.
100%. Couple of super chats. Well, sorry, one super chat. And Ashmal Kosman, welcome to the academy. Has been a member. Don't forget to check out the members section as well. Got some videos up there, fantasy football ones especially, and me getting my ass handed to me every week. Mr. Gavin with super chat says, "Are we being hypocritical, taking the moral high ground regarding the Newcastle takeover when we have Saudi Telecom as commercial sponsors?"
Yeah, but I didn't sign up for Saudi Telecom as my commercial sponsor.
No, I mean,
Is it also?
I don't know who. I also don't know who owns Saudi Telecom.
Who owns Saudi Telecom?
I literally didn't know that until that super chat. And I think you can look at the Newcastle takeover and go, I don't like to look at that.
Yeah.
I don't think that makes you a hypocrite because our Saudi Telecom are our commercial sponsors.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really sure on who our sponsors are, and also I don't like the ownership of Manchester United either.
Looks like the CEO of it doesn't look like the Crown Prince. So
Well, I think you're allowed to criticise both. To be honest with you, Rowan Sheehy says, "Well,
there's nothing wrong with
welcome
people
to
from
the
Saudi
academy."
Arabia.
Yeah,
right?
this isn't a Saudi thing.
Yeah, this
No.
is. I said this earlier. Like, if you was like, I don't want anyone from Saudi Arabia owning anything because that country's awful. Well, that's racism, right? If you go, I don't want to be owned and therefore a PR wing of a country that's committing atrocities, war crimes, and enslaving people
And killing journalists.
and killing journalists. I was only getting to the
That could we could file that under atrocity, maybe.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah.
Like, if it was like, I don't know, Mike, the Saudi Arabian bloke who's just got $1 trillion in his back pocket, fine.
Yeah.
Pauper.
Yeah. Like, okay, there's one thing being a sugar daddy, and I'm going to take the piss out of any club that's just been fed money like this. Sugar daddy clubs like Chelsea. Roman Abramovich, okay, there might be some background into how he got his money, but he's still just Roman Abramovich. He isn't Russia.
Yeah.
He isn't doing this as a PR wing of Russia. That's the difference between what Abu Dhabi are doing, between what Qatar's doing with PSG, and what's undoubtedly about to happen with... like, there was a statement from the Newcastle Pride...
Is this the one about that they aren't owned by the Saudi government? Or have you seen that? That's what they had to convince
And it
the
was
Premier
also
League.
like, and, they're doing amazing things for women. They even negotiated with a woman. So how about that?
Yeah, I saw that.
You're like,
Which is just
what?
that is. I saw someone put that's from the Chris Finch school of how can I hate women? My mum's one.
Yeah, how can we hate women? We negotiated.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
just
that's actions speak louder than words at this point. Yeah,
it is awful. And I think this is what sort of disappoints me as well. And it's the same with the City ownership and now with the Newcastle one. It's like if you criticise it, you get the stick. If you question it, you get the stick. So we're all meant to sit there and go, no, it's great. Oh, it's great that you've got a murderous regime that are buying a football club to distract from the horrible atrocities they're committing. I think that's mint.
Do you know that there's...
How's that work?
if you're on the sex offenders register, you can't own a football club in England. I don't think anyone's going to have an issue with that. But you can be murdering journalists, committing war crimes, international atrocities, and enslaving people, and that's all right.
Yeah.
How is that
it is awful.
a thing? How is that a thing? Like, and that's the whole point. Is it's just criticising it. Like the Premier League only was interested in stopping Saudi Arabian takeover because they was facilitating piracy of the Premier League. They was like, whoa, what's this?
yeah,
You can't be streaming our games, lads.
yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, oh, I thought you were going to ask us about a journalist.
Yeah, like
All right,
on a film where someone's got like a dead body in the cupboard, and they're like, I'm just going to go to the back and get a baguette. And they're like, oh my god, I can't believe it. And they're like, oh, they found the body, and they're like, these baguettes are out of date. And they're like, oh, thank God. That's literally what they were doing. Like, you
Vegan
can't take
baguettes.
over. We know what you've been doing. And they're like, oh my God, they found out. And they're like,
You
you've
go,
been
this is
streaming illegal
disgusting.
games. Yeah.
Vegan Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
Like, oh, thank God they haven't found my wife who's in the back. But yeah, anyway, we've been over the Newcastle stuff quite a bit, haven't we?
Pavan Sunkara says, replying to an earlier chat, I would not be happy with United if we were owned by the Saudi government. No moral high ground there. Government being the operative word. I think that's a fair comment, my friend.
But again, Jay, what you got to remember is they convinced the Premier League that it wasn't the government that was buying the club, despite, all of the CEOs
all of the
that
evidence
company.
to prove otherwise. Ashmal Kozman says, thoughts on Paul Bin and milking the DBV situation? Steve, can you tell us how bad 2005 was for Fergie with the dinosaur comments?
Who's Paul Ben?
I don't know.
I think
let's
people
focus on the second part of that super chat,
we
which
might
I
have some
understand.
idea about.
Yes.
Well, I'll go
Sorry.
on the milking of the Van der Beek situation. It's just anyone who's not in the team is the saviour. That's been a thing for a couple of
always
years
the case, isn't it?
There's a big player FC thing, and people just... It's such gutter analysis. He's not playing, therefore he must be mint. Well, you've got a manager who's under probably the most pressure out of anyone in the league. If he had players that was rassing it up in training, don't you think he'd have played them? Like, the tap-in for him to do is go, he's really good. Like, believe me, like, I didn't get it from the horse's mouth, but it's from another horse, if you like, is that Ollie wanted another midfielder. Ollie comes out and says things like, I'm happy with my squad, because he doesn't want to be the toxic fucking waste that Jose was in the changing room, where Jose comes out and goes, these are all fucking shit.
I haven't got any midfielders.
Yeah, and then everyone's in a change room like, simply Gaffer said.
Yeah.
Talking about you there. Like, some players might have a laugh with that, but insecure players might be like, I thought we were going to win the league, I guess we're not. A manager's job is to motivate and get the best out of his team. And now, I personally don't think you do that by calling him shit in the press. And I think Ollie's probably gone too far, trying to not be Jose. And he comes out and is like, I love my squad, they're the greatest ever. But when he comes out, he says this about Fellaini, he said this about Young, he said this about Sanchez, he said it about Lukaku, and they all got a bullet. Like, don't listen to the words he says in press conferences. Think what the actual thing he could be saying is, or just assume that he's deflecting because he owes nobody anything, including the truth, in a press conference. He doesn't owe anyone the truth. His only loyalty is to making Manchester United better. And some people are like, well, he's not doing a fucking good job of that, is it? And you're like, all right, whatever. He fucking clearly is. Now, his job, until the transfer window opens, is to keep this lot happy. You can't get rid of him yet, so you've got to keep them all happy. So he's going to do no one any favours coming out and slagging anyone off.
And you know that he wants a midfielder then?
Yeah, Mike Phelan basically said it when he was with us. Yeah, we are looking for players that can make the squad better. We didn't end up getting that midfielder. Ronaldo came available, and I think they jumped all over it. I don't think that was anything like a planned signing, and it's probably caused some sort of an imbalance in terms of what they wanted. I don't know whether they was definitely bringing in another midfielder, or I think they were definitely looking. Romano's mentioned to us that, yeah, Saul was on the radar. Camavinga was on the radar. It sounds like there was others in the mixer, but once Ronaldo became available, well, you've got to get Ronaldo because it's Ronaldo.
Yeah, I don't blame him for that as well. Juan Martinez in Super Chat says, Fred's problem, going back to Fred, is he constantly gives the ball away, then tackles the guy he gave the ball to. He's padded his own stats by being bad on the ball. I'm not sure.
When Bruno was padding his own stats by getting loads of easy assists. I know your point, and sometimes you'll have a heavy touch and you'll have to sort of win the ball back.
Yeah.
But he's not, A, doing that on purpose, and B, doing that to some degree that he looks far better than he's not doing that 20 times a game, is he?
No.
He's
been rinsed on the counter a couple of times.
He's been poor this season, I think.
He's been indefensible,
I think the thing with Fred is, I thought at the end of last season, he got to a point where you kind of knew what you were going to get from him. But he's gone back to his worst patch of himself where he's like, anytime he has the ball, I don't know what's going to happen again. Like, the Wolves game was unbelievably bad.
There was a point, wasn't there, last year where you was like, he's actually pretty good if you don't let him shoot.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember that?
And then now his passing's gone poor again. His decision-making, like, he's trying to make long passes.
Even his strength.
Yeah.
His basic things like he's quick and he's strong. The things that you think, all right, regardless of anything else, he's got the physical attributes to be, a good player. And I hate just focusing on a player's physical attributes, but there's a time and a place where it sort of fits, and it does with Fred. But even that's deserted him. Yeah. He's looked slow and weak.
And he's getting pushed out the way by
Damari Gray.
Yeah. Wait, what's this comment here? Will you protest and stop using Facebook? And will you stop using Uber or protest Disney? The human rights argument is filibuster. Uber, Facebook, and Disney might be enormous corporations. They're not countries, though, my mate.
Yeah.
The joke's on you because I'm banned from Uber.
Yeah.
So I can't use Uber. And I don't watch Disney. Well, not very often. Cameron S says, the crazy thing is if we weren't owned by leeches, United would be able to compete and possibly be better with those insanely rich owners. Yeah, we get that. Yeah. And it's just like, where do you draw a sort of line with it and say, right, that's not for me. Also, MUFC, who's been a member for 7 months, says, why does Steel look like he's going to a G.I. Joe fashion show? Give us your best blue steel. Give him your best blue steel.
Don't judge me.
Go on. Have you got a blue steel?
No.
Oh, you're such a miserable twat. And also, UTP, Hi Motti, Hi Steve, and Lord have mercy, Jesus. Nice.
Amen.
Cheers. Why are you banned from Uber again, Jake?
I don't know. I've only used it twice.
In the seats.
Did you poo on the seat?
No. Did a poopy in the seat.
There's no sign on that taxi that says you cannot defecate on the seats.
It's in the terms and conditions.
Is it real?
Yeah. Is it?
Should have read that.
I actually do read terms and conditions. This isn't even me joking. I read rules and terms and conditions of stuff. Got to know what you're doing.
But that's really sad, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because you'll read terms and conditions, but you won't read instructions.
Yeah.
But why would I want someone telling me what to do?
Because one thing helps you, and the other thing makes you a sad act.
Caleb the Ertler, who's been a member for 8 months, says, at this point in the season, can we say that we dodged a bullet by signing Varane for the same money as Upamecano was? Varane's still a class above.
No, I don't think you can say that. I'm not saying I think Upamecano is better than Varane, but dodging a bullet suggests that Upamecano is shit. He's been at Bayern Munich for 10 games, 12 games, whatever it is.
Yeah, there's probably people out there that's saying, we dodged a bullet by not signing Jadon Sancho.
Yeah, exactly.
When Jadon Sancho, I just want to get onto Jadon Sancho.
Should we talk about him a little bit?
Yes, that was my little segue there. Because he's had a bit of stick this season. Few people questioning the Talk Sport crowd. Like, he's rubbish, he's not good, he's got no assists and goals for Manchester United, what a waste of money.
It's almost like they need something to fucking argue about every day.
He got a couple of assists against an admittedly poor Andorra side, but you can only beat what's in front of you. Played well. Do you think that could be a little bit of a confidence boost that he needs, just a little bit, especially with some of the grief he was getting on the back of missing the penalty for England?
I do, yeah.
Or do you think?
And I understand this thing of, it's only Andorra, don't get your hopes up. Well, he was the one that got the assists. He still did it. Like, I'm not saying that he would have got those assists against France or Belgium, but he still had a good game.
Yeah.
And why are we in the, like, as United fans, surely we're in the business of let's praise players maybe more than they're worth rather than finding a reason to criticise someone that's not had the best start to the season. For me, I'd rather say he had a really good game, and hopefully he can bring that form to United rather than going, well, Andorra is shit, so it don't count. We're United fans. I'd rather be on that side of it, like giving him more credit than he deserves maybe, in the vain hope that if this sort of conversation around him changes, that could possibly, help him rather than it has a chance of hurting him. Not to think that my words are going to get to him, but the conversation on Twitter, the conversation in the media is Sancho's had a bad start, hasn't he? Yeah. So let's give him some praise when he has a good game.
I thought he did well when he came on against Everton.
Yeah, I did.
He was United's
best player for that 30 minutes.
He was getting past his man.
Yeah. Give me a flavour. Just Google Andorra's ranking.
Yeah.
I think it's 154th.
If you've got this right, this is elite memory. 156.
Oh, frick.
That's very, very good.
Thank you.
They've been as low as 206. I think there's only about 220 teams.
Really?
There's only about 210 countries.
Yeah. And not all of them. Can you name the other world governing body for football? That looks after
Other than FIFA?
Yeah, so there's another one.
REFA.
Nice. No.
Rest of the World Football Association.
The WMD.
It's called CONIFA. Do you want to Google it?
CONIFA.
You can see some of the countries or nations, actually, because it's not always countries.
Confederation of Independent
Is Yorkshire on this? Is this the one that Yorkshire's in?
I tried to play them in a friendly because I wanted to know how good they were.
Really?
Jay, do I joke about things like this?
No, you don't, to be honest with you. Cornwall is in there.
Yes, lads.
Monaco, yeah, all right. Yorkshire. That's the most pathetic
Monaco,
thing.
It's not.
United Koreans in Japan. Easter Island is in there.
Fucking great.
Droylsden is in there, which is a bit weird. Worksop as well.
We're still working.
Worksop?
Yeah.
No, it isn't.
And Eccles.
Let me see that.
So we're all represented.
It's not. I'll read some of them out for
It's
you.
not.
Come on, Steve.
Stop spoiling the fun.
Somaliland, Western Sahara, Zanzibar.
My mate's from Zanzibar. Big shout out to
Chagos
Saha.
Islands.
Yeah.
Quebec.
Good lads.
Like I said, Easter Island. A couple of teams in Oceania. Northern Cyprus, which I believe is a Turkish section of Cyprus, I think. Luhansk. Sicily. Sardinia.
Politically charged, that Cyprus comment there, but yeah, fine.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Maybe we've got family in the south. South Ossetia. So there's loads of like I said, nations, not necessarily countries.
Tibet in there.
Yeah. So people who can't get recognised by FIFA for whatever reason.
That's the tournament you want to be going to. Is there a CONIFA World Cup?
I tried to play some of them.
Did you?
Yeah.
Is there a CONIFA World Cup, Jay? I want to see
World Football. It's called the World Football Cup. Yorkshire. Yes, there is a CONIFA. Yes, it's been held every 2 years since 2014. And the tournament is the successor of the Viva World Cup, which was held from 2006 to 2012.
So it's held every year?
Every 2 years.
Oh, fucking Venger's had his mitts all over that.
It was held in North Macedonia a year ago.
Don't remember.
I missed it.
I believe it was won by the country of Nice.
As in the city in France?
Nice. Yeah.
Nice. These are great. This is ace.
They won it on penalties.
It's in North Macedonia again in 2 years.
Oh, well, when you've been there once, you're destined to want to go back, so fair play to them.
What was the reason I brought this up? Oh,
I don't know.
Andorra.
Steve.
So, Andorra, they're ranked 154th, right?
Sixth.
Sorry.
Don't make my mistake twice.
156.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know what that translates to in real money, but why are we playing friendlies with teams ranked 100? I'm torn on this because one half of me thinks
there's a qualifier, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Either way,
right.
Why are we playing? Well, okay. If it's a qualifier, it's a qualifier. I still think there should be tiered qualifications.
Yeah, kind of like there is a Nations League. How there is the tier
a
1,
little
2,
bit,
3,
yeah.
4.
Because like it does Andorra no good to play England. Although I'm sure they get up for it, and I'm sure they love having all of these great teams visit. And half of me thinks this is hypocritical because I like the FA Cup and I like that there's those giant killing things, but there's never any giant killings.
The thing is, if the qualification was like
Straight knockout.
straight knockout. Ooh. Occasionally you might see Andorra beat Holland or Finland beating, Spain.
Or the look of the draw might mean that San Marino get Malta, then Liechtenstein,
But currently,
then Andorra, and then they end up in the quarterfinals, and Bosch were away.
because in England's group, San Marino currently bottom on 0 points after 7 games. They've conceded 29 goals in those 7 games, which is 4 and a bit a game. Like that's too much.
It's pathetic. Like literally, we worked out San Marino are about the level of Stretford Paddock. Or lower, actually. I can't remember what the crack was. Like, so what is the point?
I'd love to see you play and be handily beaten by San Marino.
No, but you wouldn't have been.
I love the maths.
And people go, but they're internationals. What a stupid argument.
We worked out using the basic method of, I thought about it and decided.
Some
that
bloke
wasn't the case. I spoke
Twitter
to a guy called Omar Chowdhury who works for the football data company 21st Club, and he said their records only go down to, I think it was Conference North, and they are further from Conference North than they are the Premier League, which means that they are at least 8 levels below Conference
But isn't
North.
that assuming that the gap between the leagues below the Conference North and the leagues above it are linear and the same?
Possibly.
Whereas they're not necessarily. Like, I would say 6 divisions below Conference North is closer to Conference North.
It was like,
than
at least.
the Premier
They're
League.
that far off. They are at least. So they might be 10 levels off it.
I think the only way to settle this argument is for you to have a friendly against San
Get
Marino.
me the number, I'll ring
So what do you think of
I'll play
Sancho
it.
anyway? That's what we're meant to be talking about.
There's no fucking point in these internationals. There's no point in these qualifiers, right? There's no point in these qualifiers. If it's a qualifier, it makes a tiny bit more sense. But I think it should be tiered. Or they should fix it somehow, so it's different, because it's fucking wasted everyone's time at the moment. There's no point England playing Andorra. There is no point England playing
But how about for teams like San Marino who get to go and play in front of 80,000 at Wembley?
Okay, and that's where I'm conflicted a little bit.
Right.
But
Because also that might keep their FA going for a while and shit.
yeah,
like,
it might. You're right. It might. Yeah. But ultimately, sport is meant to be a fucking meritocracy and not some fucking day out for everyone because aren't you the bottom ranked team in the world? What a load of bollocks! Like, we don't get to go and play at Old Trafford just because we're in fucking Manchester.
But you're not a country.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
San Marino's basically a fucking big town.
That's a good point there from Ross Murphy. Sancho outsprints a 41-year-old Andorran, ends up pulling his hamstring. I actually took a lot of comfort from that 41-year-old coming on. There's hope for us all.
How old are you, Jay?
41.
I wonder if that's why you took so much
Yeah, I
comfort
did.
from
I
it.
thought if he can do it, maybe one day I'll get that.
I used to
I'll have
look
the
at Jan Bobby
Andorran
and
grandmother. And it'd be like, Jay, we need you. We're short. And I can get to come and get, my ass handed to me by Jadon Sancho.
What do you think it'd look like if you were playing against Sancho? You were playing right back, he's playing left wing.
It would
Fucking
be
saw it at
horrendous.
weekend.
It'd be horrendous. Like, I wouldn't be able to get close enough to foul him, which would be my only option. So I think
Do it
my
at
best,
corner.
my best option would be elbow to the jaw at a corner, get a red card, argue about the red, act like I've had some sort of injustice, and get, obviously leave the pitch. Job done.
Imagine United going, we're going to play Curzon Ashton this weekend. Well, there's no Premier League on as a friendly.
Yeah.
That's what some of these friendlies are the equivalent of. In fact, they're worse.
Yeah, but
And it does
you
no
could play
one any
Curzon
good.
Ashton in the FA Cup.
Yeah, you could. But it doesn't happen often.
No.
But there's not many non-league teams make it through to round 3.
Colin Wilmot says, what are your thoughts on Scotty potentially lining up in a back 3 for us? He does a great job there for Scotland. Great content, lads. Thank you, Colin. Yeah, Scotty, somebody had a good weekend, didn't he?
I mean, possibly while these two are injured.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen that. We've seen many managers put centre mids at centre back, especially one who's played there, I guess, a dozen or 2 times for Scotland. I'm not sure exactly how many caps he's got, but I don't think that would be the wildest thing. If we want to be more defensive whilst Varane and Maguire are injured, I could see that maybe, but I don't see long-term a real need for that, especially when you've got Lindelof, who is a better centre-back than Scott McTominay.
Did you see his goal?
I don't watch international football.
Right.
Someone says it benefits national pride, and I'm against national pride. I thought it was xenophobic. Make your fucking mind up.
Right, should we hide
Listen,
these
I ain't
comments?
finished.
Because Steve's fighting with
Listen,
the telly.
shut up.
I think we
Here's
need
the
to
thing.
stop putting comments on
Yeah.
the telly
No, I
because
like
it
it.
causes
Is he
conflicts
just
and not
muted
in
me?
a good way.
I just muted myself.
Yeah.
Can
No,
you
you're not
still hear me?
muted.
I think I've just unplugged my headphones then.
All right, 'cause I can
let me
hear
finish
you.
what I was about to say. Put it back on, please.
You don't need to argue.
Put it back on, please.
You know the comment.
Put it back on. No, well, I would like the comments.
Okay.
Either way, what the fuck was I trying to say?
About international football,
All
you
right,
said.
national pride. No, actually, what's better for national pride is more what the Nations League's doing. Because then San Marino can play Liechtenstein and actually go, we could fucking win a game here.
Yeah.
Because how demoralising must it be beating San Marino and going fucking 0 for 9 in every qualifying group. It's wank. It's so easy for England that the worst managers that we've had have got a 90% win record in the groups. It's pathetic.
Yeah.
It does nobody any good whatsoever. It deludes all the England fans, all those fucking trumpets, into thinking that England are actually a good squad.
They're quite good now.
Because what?
These days they're quite good, but in the past,
Yeah, even no. Like so.
right?
They blitz through the group and everyone's like, we're going to win the fucking lot. And then you play one good fucking team and you lose. Now, this year in the Euros, they managed to get through two fucking
Can I
good
do you a
teams.
test? What goals does this remind you of?
So this is the Scotland goal that we're watching here.
What does this remind you of?
Oh my
shit.
God.
What goals it remind you of?
That's 99 on the flip side.
That's what I
It
thought.
reminds me of Brian Robson's goal against Oldham Athletic in the semi-final
I saw
replay in
Solskjaer.
1994.
See, that was on a Wednesday night, Jay,
Yeah.
that I didn't get to go to.
Because
And
he went to head it and it came off his leg.
There's no archival footage of that. No, that's like Teddy Sheringham going up for it and Ollie popping it in backstage
Yeah, that's what I thought.
on the other side.
I beg to differ.
Speaking of
Sir Alex celebrating. Sorry, we've just been watching Scott McTominay's goal in case you're wondering what we're doing.
Speaking of
Words,
Harry
things.
Maguire,
Harry
centre
Maguire,
back.
centre backs. There you go.
Isn't he
Harry
meant to be getting
Maguire.
a new contract or something?
Yeah, he's going to get a 300k bumper deal,
That's fucking mad. I didn't know
according
it was that much.
to some newspapers in this country that I won't name. I mean, he's already up. I think he's got a contract till 2024 anyway.
Can I have the comments, please?
So it's going to go up to 2025, and he's going to get a parity with the likes of Varane and players like maybe Sancho as well. I think it's on about 300k. It kind of makes sense to me. To
Yeah,
have
it makes sense to me.
skipper on a deal that's on a level with other players who are probably not as important as he is to
'Cause when
Manchester
you
United, or a similar importance, I should say.
Yeah, when you talk about like world stars, he's not the biggest name. He's not a big star like that.
That's a phrase I hadn't heard of it. World star!
Yeah, not world star,
World
not world star,
stars.
that kind of world star. But he's not, as famous as Paul Pogba or as big a name as Rashford or whatever.
Yeah.
But he is as important to the team as they are, or nearing that level. He's
Yeah.
also the captain. It looks a bit odd if you sat in the dressing room and 5 or 6 players are on twice what you're on, and you're meant to be somehow at the top of some sort of hierarchy.
What do you reckon Ollie's on?
Ollie got to be on. I mean, they do it weekly for players and yearly for managers, don't they? But
Yeah.
if you're talking weekly, I don't know, what's 150 grand a week a year? He's got to be on like 10 million, hasn't he?
That'd be like 15 million.
No, is it not
16
that
million.
much? Is it 10 million a year?
Right, but here's the
so.
thing. Fergie.
Wenger
and
used to
people
be
will go,
15 years ago.
people are going to go, well, that was Fergie, he earned it. You're going to, as usual, completely miss the fucking point of what I'm saying. Fergie had a thing where no player would ever earn as much as him.
Oh, sorry, you're right. 200k a week.
So Fergie had this thing where no player would earn more than the manager, because how can a player earn more than your manager? The manager, this is the man that's got to live and die by all of these players' actions. And people will in the comments go, well, Fergie earned that. It's not about whether you're earned it or worth it. You're in charge of these people. You can't be paid less than 70% of your first team. That's mental. And if Ollie's only on 150, well, he is. De Gea's on like 3 times that.
Who do you
Pogba's probably
think?
gonna-
Who do you think the highest paid manager is in the Premier League?
It's got to be Pep.
Yeah, he's on $20 million a year. This is a year old.
20 million a year.
This is a year old. These stats I've got, by the way.
Wowzers.
Second,
You give us a manager. You give us a manager, and we'll
So like
guess how
500
much
grand
they're
a
on.
week.
something like that. Jurgen Klopp, how much do you reckon he's on?
15.
Yeah, he nailed it.
Yeah.
What's Southgate on? Because that's usually one of the highest paid jobs in football. And it's part time.
10.
7, I'm going to say Southgate.
7. Let's have a look. 3 million a year.
Really? I earn that.
I'm not getting out of bed for that.
No.
Not gonna-
You earn that, don't you, for Paddock?
I'm not cutting my pay off.
Aye.
Yeah, that's your Stretford Paddock FC management fee. Let alone what you get for everything else.
So
It's a part-time job though, so you could do that.
are we all happy then with Harry Maguire? Is anyone concerned?
No,
Get
I
involved in the
think,
comments. Let us know in the chat what you think of Harry Maguire getting a. It's not really. It's a bit weird because I got it wrong. His deal already lasts to 2025, so I think it's just a pay rise basically. Ash Oos says he's not a 300k a week player, lads. But in this day and age, he is.
It is if you get paid it.
Yeah, and like, yeah, exactly. So I think it kind of makes sense to me. I'm not overly concerned, and I think that he deserves to be sort of on a level playing field with some of his contemporaries as well. I don't think he should be earning a lot less than.
It's come fashionable to shit on him for some
Varane or
reason.
whatever.
I'm not sure what that's all about, to be honest.
I think it's just this thing in it of like.
Because he's not like cool, is he?
No.
He's from Yorkshire.
Yeah.
He's got a big head. He looks a bit ungainly sometimes, but generally, even when he's looking a bit weird and he's wobbling and he's falling over, he still managed to find the pass. Like he's not particularly cool, is he? He's not calm.
Do you know what as well? People are
quick.
quick to dismiss Harry Maguire. Do you remember, like, I know you don't watch international football, but England played Scotland and Croatia at the beginning of the Euros, and Tyrone Mings did okay.
And everyone's like, Tyrone Mings is great.
He doesn't need to. He's better than Harry Maguire. You don't even need it. Harry Maguire comes back into the team, and automatically you see a massive improvement in that defence because he's so much better on the ball. He's so much better at actually defending, and he's such a better footballer.
Baye's trending.
Who is Eric Bailly?
I assume it's Eric Bailly.
Some news there about is that? Oh, it's gone.
Romero's signed a deal with Venezia, the club everyone knows because they've got a nice kit.
Yeah. Isn't it weird that a player of his sort of quality and experience has only just got a team 2 months into the or 3 months into the season starting when he's been a free agent since June?
It is slightly weird.
Yeah, I think very weird.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's got an odd sort of demands or I don't know. I wonder what's going on there.
Can't see why Baye's trending. There's loads of funny Baye tweets though.
Basically, just because.
But are they interested in him, or is this now the easiest
Newcastle?
fucking line to write ever? Newcastle are interested in every fucker.
Yeah, I mean they've already been linked from United with Bailly, Van der Beek, Lingard, and Martial.
Right. They don't have a director of football appointed yet. They don't have a manager appointed yet.
Yeah.
Apparently, word on the street is Steve Bruce is getting a bullet. Oh, who told you that? Everyone. Right. So. This is a piece of piss as a thingy, but it's also complete and utter bollocks because until a director of football and manager are appointed, who's buying these players?
Well, it's certainly not the government of Saudi Arabia because they don't own the club.
Nice.
That's all I know.
Nicely done.
That's all I know.
Yes. I mean, yeah, people in the comments saying is Phil Jones going to play at the weekend. I don't think that's going to happen. I know Ollie was talking about it. And Phil Jones done a good interview today, actually. I know he's a figure of fun and a lot of people like to ridicule him and have dig. But if you can be bothered, he's done some good interviews recently and talking about, young players getting stick on social media and how it can affect you and all that stuff. And he, regardless of what you think about him, he has got experience of that. So it might be worth checking out, especially for all these people who are tweeting #World Mental Health Day and then trolling other people in the next tweet. You might well go and take a look at that because I'm a bit bored of criticising Phil Jones. I just think it's just like kicking a puppy now. Just leave him. Do you know what I mean? It is like...
leave that puppy to die.
What's the point? Yeah. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Let's give it a rest.
Hey, Jay, I heard you're in a gang. Word on the street is Jay's got himself a new gang.
Yeah, I have. At uni. Got my little firm. Fucking worry about that.
What's the average age if you take you out?
Take me out, the average age is 21.
Yeah.
With me in, it's 32.
So Jay's hanging around with a load of kids trying to scare local old ladies. Is that right?
It's half right. I don't know about the scaring local old ladies. We branch out. We're not just local. But Steve's already nicked one of my gang.
Yeah, what's happened here? So you've got a gang at uni, basically.
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you have lunch together and that?
Yeah, and we
Fine.
we talk about
smoke fags.
Smoke fags and like slag off teachers and that.
Teachers, aren't they just
teachers. Oh, such squares.
Yeah, losers.
Such Poindexters.
What the fuck is going on?
And Steve's already nicked one. You should know. You've nicked one of
I
this
haven't
gang.
nicked one.
Yes, you have.
I get told, can Ellis come with you because he wants to film some stuff?
Don't name him.
Fine.
The police are still wanting him for that.
That was
just
as
like,
much
it's
as
gone
my
from being-
nicking involved in.
Yeah,
What?
my right
Can he
hand
come to the
man.
game? Yeah, what time's kick off?
This kid
3.
absolutely lives and breathes cameras, and I haven't got a clue. So I thought, right, I'm going to become his new best friend.
We have a word for those people which we're not allowed to say on this channel.
Yeah, thank you. He comes on here, or he comes
Sounds
here.
like once.
Yeah. Pons.
Camera once.
Pons. Yeah. And then he comes here, next thing you know, he messages me saying he's going to Stretford Paddock FC every weekend.
Yeah.
Hang on, who organised that? Because he told me you did.
Did he? Oh, he's had us both over there.
All I'm saying, Steve, is just be
Nicely
careful
done,
because
sir.
the rest of that gang,
Yeah,
if they roll up on Stretford Paddock FC,
We'll get content.
yeah.
you might struggle to get them cameras back. That's all I'm
You'll
saying.
get a strongly worded tweet.
Yeah.
Can I just give a shout out to the boys this week?
Go on.
92nd minute winner, free kick. Fucking stupendous.
It is a good free kick, actually. Check it out on Twitter if
been
you
a
haven't already.
fucking joy.
It's got to be. You must have retweeted that.
I don't think of the highlight. I don't think the goals has gone out on highlight. If you want to go and check what I tweeted last night, though, some little fucker stealing the balls.
Yeah, you got your balls back yet?
Nope.
What's happened then? Tell us. You can't tease it.
So
and not
as
say.
we're in the middle of celebrating our 92nd minute winner,
Yeah.
there's a wee chappy there who's decided to take some of the match balls. The actual ball that's just scored the goal
which is at this point worth about 150 grand.
Gets launched back towards
the
halfway line, and he just fucking kicks it towards the exit gate with another ball that he's running over in his hands, and then out the gate with them.
How much are these balls worth each?
40 quid each.
So if anyone's seen these, is this an appeal?
Snitches get stitches. Come on, like
don't run my balls. Do you know what's amazing is there's some people, they say things and do things knowing that we film all about. They take the piss out of us for filming our games and then do things in front of the camera which gets them in trouble. You fucking muppets.
So this could be like, we could do like a crime watch thing. You know?
Have you seen?
You know what I mean? Have you seen?
Is there anything about these balls?
You could be like, who's that guy that used to go to the screen?
Yeah.
Rav. Is it Rav?
Yeah.
And he used to have like...
It's in the WhatsApp group, isn't it?
This man is wanted in the Tamworth area for flashing to local school children.
Can't put it on. It's only a 10-second clip.
No, we're not doing crime watch on here. Right, for starters, some of us have to live in Salford.
Hit the like button.
So there's absolutely no chance.
Hit the like button if you want the clip.
A crime watch on here.
We can.
Hey, we'll be able to show my face in my state again.
Oh, there's a hell of a manscape ad in that. Yeah, you're right.
Do you know the funny thing is, it's actually Jay that nicked them balls. That's why I didn't want that clip to be shown.
If you do want to
sign
Stretford Paddock FC ball as well, do get in touch.
Who signed it? You and your missus?
Yeah, right.
Got my kids to sign it.
Who scored the winner? I need to get his signature. Mr. Gavin says Saudi Telecom are 70% owned by PIF. The well-funded bin Salman. Google it. Cheers, bro.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No, I don't like that.
Nicely done. Who's your Wally of the weeks? Oh, I know who yours is. Obviously, you've already given it away.
What, that lad with two of Steve's balls in his mouth?
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry, that's a different lad.
You have to narrow it down. That's like several lads, potentially.
Who's yours, Steve? You got one. It's you now.
So I'm sorry I've not took this with the seriousness it deserves. Yeah. I apologise. Right,
what I will say, not Wall of the Week, but it is National Coming Out Day today.
Okay, go on.
And I've been doing a bit of learning over the weekend. We had a couple of lads on Vibe with Five today. Me and Rio spoke to them. Yeah. One of them was the highest level openly gay footballer in England.
Male.
And and the sad thing about that is it's like fucking step 5 or something. Like it's so low down in the pyramid. It's a really interesting conversation with him. But what was really brilliant, because I was almost kind of thinking like, I don't know how to talk to him about this, because I'm sure him coming out to his changing room would have been really hard, and I can imagine it would have been a lot of pushback and a lot of like real negativity coming back from his changing room. And we had 2 lads on and both went, no. One lad said he came out by accident. They'd been on a squad night out and there was a load of girls and he was kind of trying to set him up with some girls, and he pulled his phone out and he's like, oh, this is my boyfriend, and he was like, oh shit. And then,
I didn't mean to say that.
Yeah, and the lads at training was like, something you wanted to tell us on Saturday night, and he was like really embarrassed about it. He was like, who gives a fuck?
But that's the thing though, I don't think it would be the changing room. I think it'd be, especially higher up, I think it's fans and Twitter and terraces.
When you see some of the racism and some of the emojis that are getting posted, I think there's definitely racism out there, without a shadow of a doubt. And I think a lot of this, though, comes from pure trolling, I think it's just fucking...
I'm going to say the nastiest thing I possibly can.
It's people looking for a reaction, probably 95% of the time. There's still an undercurrent of some real nasty shit out there that's heartfelt and genuine, because I think Marcus Rashford mentioned that there was like a school teacher on that had been giving him some shit on one of them, and they'd checked his profile out.
That was because he pointed out, didn't he? He said, this is scary, this is someone educating our children who thinks it's okay to racially abuse another person.
And I don't think that's the norm. I think the norm is probably teenagers that are looking for a reaction. I think, I could be wrong, but I think that's the case. And I think that's probably the main reason a lot of people higher up in the game, because there's definitely gay players. There's 100% there's gay players. Probably all of the clubs that we all support. I mean, obviously we're all United fans, but I'm sure right throughout the Premier League, I'd be surprised if there was 2 clubs that didn't have a gay player. And for whatever reasons, they don't feel like it's comfortable to come out. But it is National Coming Out Day. And I want to say, from my angle, I'd like to support any of our viewers or fans that want to use today as an opportunity to come out. I think that'd be a real positive thing. But there's a great interview that we've just done on 5. I think it's probably out right now, so maybe go and check it out and see what you think.
Is this something? I mean, forgive me, this is a ridiculous question, but do you ever have this conversation with your squad or anything like that? Like, if
no, we've never had this conversation.
Do you feel like, would you approach it, or would you just leave them to it and just try and create an environment where you feel if someone in your squad wanted to come out to you, they could come out to you, or the rest of the squad? How would you approach it as a manager?
I don't know.
All right.
I'm still a brand new. Yeah, I don't know is the answer. I'm still a brand new manager. I'm still trying to figure out fucking all of the different, game time politics for different players, and managing people coming back from injuries and getting my squad selection right, because you've got to win every week.
Yeah.
All of those things are constantly in my mind. I wouldn't know necessarily what to do. I would just do what I think I do always, and treat everyone like I treat them. Yeah, we've got a lot of players from different backgrounds. We've got a lot of players that are different nationalities, and they all get treated the same.
Yeah.
They all get told fuck off 54 times a week.
Yeah.
They all got told they're fucking shit constantly, and that wouldn't matter, whether that's a black player, whether that's a Muslim player, whether that's a gay player, whether it's from Manchester, whether it's Cam. Like, it doesn't matter. They all get treated exactly the fucking same as far as I'm concerned. So, I would hope that they would have the confidence that they could come and say, listen, I'd like to come out, and I'd be like, cool, well, we'd support you as a club. How do you want us to support you as a club? Because I don't know.
Definitely. I'm hoping that we get to that place, because, I remember in the 80s where racism was sort of all right, in a funny way. Like, what you could get away with it. Like, you could, and when I say it was all right, I don't mean it was all right as in everyone was okay with it. I mean, you could be racist and get away with
sort
it.
of
You won't get sanctioned. Yeah. Your fans won't get banned. Players won't get banned for doing it.
You won't get sacked from work if you were caught.
You won't get your collar felt. You won't get other fans saying if you don't pat that in, you're going to get slapped. Like, obviously you get some fans like my dad or whoever who would, but like, it was sort of like accepted. And it got to the point where it wasn't accepted. And if someone saw it, they'd pull him up. People would kick off. People would get fined. People would get banned. Other fans wouldn't have it, and I think that was a massive change for me when other fans started going, "Oh mate, why don't you know what I mean? Like, not having that here." And I hope we get to that place when it comes to homophobia, because I don't think we're quite there yet.
I don't think we're there yet. I'm shocked.
And I'd love to see us get there.
It's clearly more accepted in the women's game, and whether that might just be a sort of like a general acceptance of gay women versus gay men for whatever reason that is, but it definitely seems to be more accepted in the women's game. And I'd love to get to the point where it's almost, honestly, I couldn't give a fuck.
No, I'm with you. I think, like, you look at Casey Stoney, for example, an openly gay manager of Manchester United. No, she's not anymore. That's massive. Imagine if that was the men's team and you had an openly gay manager of one of the biggest clubs in the world.
It shouldn't matter.
Yeah, it shouldn't.
Guess what?
Right.
Casey Stoney was banging. As a manager.
Of course.
And that's all that she needs to be judged on. Was she any good at her job? Yeah, she was fucking top. Well, cool. I can go fuck if she sleeps with.
Yeah, I think it's going to be...
Whether Rooney's fucking slaying grannies on the side of it, the only person that should be asked about that is Colleen.
Yeah.
That's it. Or whether Rooney was fucking banging dudes left, right and centre. The only person that should be fucking bothered about that is Colleen. Like, ultimately, I don't think any of this is anyone's business, but everyone should have the fucking...
I just think as well, it sets a good example if someone in the Premier League was able to come out, then it might encourage others. I don't know. I'm just thinking that, like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes that can be the sort of catalyst for certain people.
One of the things I've seen a lot of the years is people saying, obviously the coming out thing is a thing unto itself, but the thing of, for the rest of my career and life, I now have to be the first player that came out.
That's spokesman. One of the giants that we spoke to today.
The role that comes with that of the talisman of that, which is another role into itself, isn't it?
There's a lad called Matt that we spoke to today, and he's like step 5. He's playing at Ronaldo's level. Right. So that's, Brown, not so he said, I'd never had any press and media attention for how I played on the pitch. All the press and media attention I get is because I'm the only gay footballer at this sort of level.
Yeah. We had, was it Thomas Hitzelsberger who came out after he'd retired, I think. Yeah. But obviously, there's Justin Fashioning, but there's not been anyone who's a current footballer at a high level who I know, in the men's game, who has come out, and hopefully, that, when they do, they'll get the support they deserve. And I'd like to think that if he was a United player, we'd all back him. Yeah. I know I would. And I'd be like, you know what I mean? I'm not having anyone giving him any shit. There's one of ours. Do you know what I mean? Just before we wrap up, Aditya Gusam says Bruce might have been sacked today. Check news, lads. I've checked it. He's had a meeting, and as far as I know, he's still the Newcastle manager from the latest reports. He went in with Amanda Staveley, but I think he's a dead man walking.
Amanda was like, Steve, just show me around what's going on here, and let's go into that office that you used to be in.
I love that meme. You're not going to get sacked from the office. You're not going to get sacked, I think it's only a matter of time. But with all news, we'll keep you updated. Go and check out his video Vibe with 5. Obviously, a very important topic. Go and check it out. It's up now, did you say?
I think it should have been. Yeah.
Yep, so go and check that. That's live. Check out, if you're not doing it already, check out paddockmerch.com and subscribe. Give us a subscription. Because, actually, did I get your wallet of the week?
I don't know. Who's yours?
I'll go with who is my Wooly of the week?
Come on.
Boris.
Yeah.
Because.
So's mine then.
Yeah. What are you showing him pictures for?
Tapping someone up.
Oh right.
Yeah,
Just a football friend that you might know. We can't do
Bezzies
this.
with him?
Why can you say who it is?
Yeah.
No. He might have played for Man United.
It amazes me that this goes on. So check out the video. Check out Joe Smith 98, 93 even.
I wish 93.
93. You know where to find Stephen Howson and Jay Motti. This has been the Paddock Podcast. Thanks for everyone who got involved. See you in the next one.